cracking accounts and selling stuff like that. Just a pro tip. Another thing I can talk about is my ideas for PlayStation 4, like the new PlayStation console. If I made it, here would be my parts design for it, okay? So, like right now, there's like really old graphic cards and processors in PlayStations and Xboxes, so they need to get it updated a bit. So if I had my way with Sony, I would totally up the whole system. I know it'd cost a lot, but it'd last for like at least 5 years, and it would have state-of-the-art technology in it. So here is my parts list if you know anything about computers. I would put an i5 3570K in. I don't know if it'd fit in. Like if they had a computer pretty much, but it ran a PlayStation operating system. So I'd put an i5 3570K in. So it's like a new Intel processor. And if you don't know, I like kind of fiddling around with computers and figuring out good parts that go with computers and stuff like that. And pretty much that processor won't be a bottleneck unless you have like 4 amazing graphic cards of the top of the end graphic card. They cost $1,000 each. And I'm thinking about the GTX 690 if you know anything about graphic cards. I think it'd take that many to bottleneck at 3570. But if you have the i5 3570, and then because games are getting bigger, like the files in games are getting bigger, it's a couple gigabytes each. Like if they put, oh man, that would cost a lot. I was thinking a terabyte solid state drive, but those cost like $1,000 each. Never mind if they had like 500 gigabyte hard drives, but in a RAID thing. So if you don't know anything about RAID, it's either there's 2 types of RAID. One, if you like, here's how it works. First off, is you get a hard drive and another hard drive, and you put them together. So basically, they work together. The one type can mirror the other hard drive, so if you ever, like one of your hard drives ever poops out on you, you always have the other. That'll have the exact same data as the other one. And it's kind of used for backing it up. Or the other thing you can get is it writes, like your system writes to both of them the exact amount, but different data. And that means it'll load things faster and save and copy and whatever, delete faster. But you have no data security, so if they put in the RAID that has the, I think it's RAID 1, which would be the faster accessing and everything, and saving and loading and whatever. Then, if you had a portable hard drive, you just back it up to there. So you could have like a 500 gigabyte hard drive in the PS3, so 250 gigabyte hard drives, and 2 of them in that RAID array. That would be a pretty awesome configuration, in my opinion, because the PS3 hard drives are extremely slow. If you actually have taken it out and put a better one in, you'll notice a huge difference. So I haven't taken mine out, but I just know that the hard drive is extremely slow on a PS3. And that sucks, especially when you're backing up. Like, I backed up 20 gigs of data. It took it 4 hours. And I have a USB 3.0 hard drive. Backing up over, like, 300 gigabytes of data on my PC took 2 hours, and then 20 or 30 gigabytes on a PS3 took 4 hours. So it's the hard drive on the PS3 that's a huge bottleneck. And that sucks. So then you'd have like your basic RAM, I think. If it was like, I'm building it all, you got computer almost, and then you have a cool PlayStation case, kind of like the PS3. And then if you had like really good cooling, so you don't get the yellow light, because that is caused, in what I know, by faulty cooling mostly. And then it gets so hot that it actually melts the solder off of some parts. So if you had better cooling, that would not happen. If they had cool parts, like I know the newer things today, like a graphic card, the 660 Ti just came out today, and apparently it's a cool running graphic card, like extremely cool running. So if you had cool running parts and good fans, you could keep this beast under probably 50 degrees Celsius, which would be a good thing, and probably give it more lifetime. So then you'd have some good fans for it. And, oh, I can tell you another fan story, but I'll keep that for later. And I'm talking fan, like a computer fan that cools it off, and not like a fan like, oh my gosh, I watch your videos on YouTube, Cam! Not anything like that, no. Nobody has actually ever done that to me, so I think that's pretty good. That'd be kind of, I don't know how I'd react to that. I'd be like, oh, well, do you like them? Yeah! Okay, well that's good, it's nice to meet you. No, I'd be nice to if I ever saw one of my subscribers in real life, but I don't know how they'd see me. How they'd know it's me unless it's my voice or whatever. And if I said things that are stupid like I do in my commentaries. But back to the computer list. Then for the graphic card, which would kind of finish it up, I'd put in a 7970. So that's a state-of-the-art graphic card. It's lower than the top NVIDIA graphic cards, but it's still a really good graphic card. Like, it would run multiple monitors very well with like Battlefield 3 on it. So Battlefield 3 is kind of like a I don't know what to call it. I lost the word. But it's a benchmarking game. That's what it is. See, because it's a hard to run game on PC. So it's a really good benchmarking. 7970 would runs it very well. So if you had that in a PS3, it costs around $450, I think, for 7970. But in my opinion, it'd be totally worth it because it would last many years. And yeah, I think in the next gas stop break, I'm gonna hop on Twitter and ask for some questions for my commentary for this, so I have something to answer. So that would be quality. And I don't know if I could put a question and answer on this too. That would be awesome. So maybe one of my followers on Twitter has a good question for me. We'll just have to wait and see. Right now we're at a half a tank, so we'll have to get down to a quarter of a tank or lower. Hop into the gas station, the pit stop, and then fill her up. And see what this dude said, because I know he's talking to me. I can see some new Skypes, but I'm too far away to see. And I'm not gonna get up, because my couch is really comfy and I'm lazy. So, yeah. But, I guess I can... Oh yeah, the fan story. So one day I was like, oh my gosh, my computer... This is the fan story I was talking about earlier that I said I'd say when I was talking about fans in real life and stuff. But anyway, the fan story. So, I had my computer... This isn't a really epic story, but whatever. So I had my computer and I was like, dude, I gotta clean my computer out so it'll run a bit cooler, because there's dust all over it. And this is my new computer, because like the front fan, there's a lit up fan, and the lights are really annoying. It's like a bright blue LED on it, so that's kind of annoying. You can't turn it off or anything. Like, if you had wiring skills, you might be able to disable it, but I don't know how, because I don't have wiring skills, really. So, I was like, dude, I gotta clean my computer case. This is horrible. Look how dusty it is. So, I was like, oh, let's take out the vacuum cleaner and start vacuuming it. So, I cranked the vacuum up to the top speed for cleaning stuff, and then it's like, neep. And then I put it up to the computer, and I have the computer running, and all the fans on 100% speed, so it'll kind of stir up the dust, and the vacuum can suck it up. So then I'm like, do-do-do-do-do, let's clean the side, let's clean the front, let's clean the back. So I'm like cleaning the back, and then okay, graphic card's cleaned out, and the processor fan's cleaned out, and the case fan on the back's cleaned out. Okay, let's go to the front. And I cleaned all the dust out of like everywhere else on top of the case, inside the case, just lying around. Okay, wow, this is dusty because it sucks air in on the front. And, holy cow, this is a dusty fan. So there's like a huge clump of dust. And today when I set up my computer here, I had to move my computer, and I look on the front. It's like this huge, like, I don't know, maybe it's like a centimeter of dust just sitting on it. So like my computer's on almost all the time, like maybe except for probably 9 hours when I'm sleeping. So it's on for a good. Let's do some math. 15 hours a day, probably. I'm not using it all that time, but it's probably on for about that long. And to all you eco people who flip out when I waste energy, don't worry, I got a 7850 for a reason, because it's more eco-friendly than the 6000 series of AMD cards. So if you understood that, and you're an eco person, then, yeah, I hope you understand that I can leave it on for that long without really harming the environment. But, so anyway, back to the story. I'm vacuuming the front, and it's like, neep, and then I was like, wow, that fan, I can really see the blades on that fan. Is this slowing down? And then it turns out, like, the vacuum had so much suction It actually stopped the fan in the case.